This weekend, Lloyd's will be offering one of the rarest cars in Australia, a pinnacle in Australian motorsport. One of 3 left in the world, one of 4 built. It's the GTHO Phase 4. It is the first car to be mentioned in Parliament and the first car to make front page news. The car is accepting online bids now. The current bid is in excess of $1 million and we expect the car to exceed $3 million.
How confident are you that someone's going to pay $3 million for a 1972 Falcon?
Well, it's one of the rarest cars to be bought, and if we look at traditional classic car sales in Australia, anything with a limited build, anything with a celebrity affiliation, anything with a chrome bumper is going up in value. Recent sales have indicated that with Phase 3 sales we've exceeded recently the $1 million mark. And last week we sold the dual Bathurst winner, Peter Brock Bathurst winner, for $2.1 million, and this is a special car in Australian history. One of 3, it's the limited build. This should exceed $3 million at auction. So we would expect the bidders to come from far and wide on this car. Certainly international inquiry has already started coming through. It's going to be investors, it's going to appeal to anyone who's got a connection with Ford Falcons and the time, perhaps even appeal to some ex-racers as well. Anyone with an affiliation with Australian motorsport would be very interested in this car. There's not a type of car that has this rare build, and there's certainly no car that's been mentioned in Parliament and to come with this much controversy. So with that in mind and with past auction sales, we just think that this car would appeal to investors far and wide, and while it should start with a 3, it could certainly go in excess of that, which means that the auction come Saturday night will be very exciting. We expect this car to beat an Australian record set by Lloyd's with the dual Bathurst winner, which reached $2.1 million recently. So anywhere in excess of $3 million would break the record and set a new tone for Australian classic cars.
Sure, and this car per se, so what's the history of this specific car?
So this car was commissioned by Ford in the early 70s. At the time, Phase 3s were dominating the racetrack. Now this car was to be built and they were going to produce 500. Now an article came out in 1972 by the Sun Herald stating that the car was dangerous. The government got involved and described it as a bullet on wheels. It was shortly after those debates in Parliament that Ford stopped production. There were only ever 4 produced. 1 has been destroyed, so there's only 3 in existence, and this is the only GTHO Phase 4 that is unrestored.
Sure, and this one was meant for who?
This particular car was being designed for Fred Gibson and Alan Moffat to race. Both Alan Moffat and Fred Gibson will be attending the auction at Lloyd's Auctions in Carrara on Saturday night.